Good afternoon, all the guests. And before further any delays, I would like to invite the next speaker. She's Dr. Iffat Zafar, who is a co-founder and a chief development officer of Sehat Kahani. And she's a former co-founder of a charity called Dr. Hers. And her topic is telemedicine, bridging the distance between the doctors and the patients in Pakistan. It's a case study.
Hello and good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I'd really like to thank Dr. Sohail and the APPS UK conference for actually inviting me over for talking about my work. So, my name is Dr. Iffat Zafar, and I am the co-founder of a health tech social enterprise based in Karachi, Pakistan, named Sehat Kahani. So, before we move on, a little bit about me. Currently, I'm a student of MSc from University of Edinburgh. I'm currently doing my MSc in Global eHealth. I recently secured Commonwealth scholarship for it. But most importantly, aside from my professional life, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter. And the story of Sehat Kahani is the story of so many doctors who are mothers and daughters in Pakistan. But it's also a story of all of those people living in the low-income, marginalized populations in Pakistan, unable to access healthcare. Now, before we move on, I'd like to talk a little bit about the key ingredient here that Sehat Kahani has utilized in enhancing healthcare in Pakistan, which is e-health. E-health, we are very familiar that it's a buzzword that has been around for a couple of decades. But what actually is e-health? So if you look at it, if we look at one of the definitions that the Journal of Medical Internet Research provides, is that e-health is an emerging field in the intersection of medical informatics, public health, and business, referring to health services and information delivered or enhanced through the internet and related technologies. But when we look at it practically, e-health is a lot more. It is a state of the mind. It is an attitude. It's a commitment that a healthcare professional gives in order to access and enhance healthcare, not just locally and regionally, but globally, utilizing internet and ICT-enabled technologies. A few key words when we talk about e-health include electronic medical records, it includes telemedicine, mHealth, e-prescriptions, e-invoices, to name a few. So, telemedicine and e-health holds immense importance globally, not just in the impact that it creates for healthcare, but it also makes a very strong business case. If we look at telemedicine is projected to grow and reach a market of $48 billion by 2021. While currently it stands at around $19 billion. A couple of global leaders include AMD Telemedicine, Find My Doctor, MD Live, and a very famous company based in our neighboring country, India, Apollo Health. These are some very essential examples globally of telemedicine. Now, one would think, how can telemedicine and e-health facilitate a country or a developing country like Pakistan? So e-health started in Pakistan in the late 90s or the early 2000s. One of the very initial projects was conducted by Engro Foundation, utilizing connections with the JPMC hospital. A few key leaders included Dr. Zakiuddin, Dr. Jumma, Asad Umar, to name a few. Then Khan started some of its work, and also Aman Foundation. But unfortunately, the irony in Pakistan is that most of the healthcare leaders work in silos. So if Khan is working, it's working in its own AKHSP network. If Aman Foundation is working, again, they're working in their own base. So there's no collaboration. Now, one would say, why is telemedicine and e-health actually important in Pakistan? So, when we look at the healthcare demographics in Pakistan, we have two market failures. One, despite the fact that we have lots of doctors graduating every year, the irony is that 63% of the total number of doctors who graduate every year are females, but because of social and cultural norms, hardly 23% actually practice. As I mentioned earlier, this is a story of all of the doctors who are mothers, who are doctors, but who are not able to practice. But on the other hand, the irony is that we still live in a country which is stuck by poverty, where 1 in every 10th child is unable to make to their 10th birthday. We still live in a country where 38% of the women are unable to access quality health care just because of the distance. We still live in a country where 51% of the population is devoid of basic quality health care. But when there are issues, there are also opportunities. So although we have a population of around 2.8 million people, but interestingly, technology and internet has taken a role in the last few years. The teledensity in Pakistan is more than 70%. Many of the people are able to use internet even in the very marginalized low-income communities. And that is the strength that Sehat Kahani utilizes. Sehat Kahani is an innovative telehealth company providing e-health solutions to women in the marginalized populations by bridging the healthcare gaps between the at-home female physicians, nurses, and community health workers. Now, how do we do that? So we have 3 verticals. First of all, by enhancing accessibility. We go into the marginalized low-income communities where there are no female physicians practicing. We identify nurses, community health workers, and lady health workers from these communities, and we train them to act as the intermediaries. We also identify spaces which can be converted into telemedicine clinics in these communities. And we connect them to female physicians online. We've been working for the last 2 years, and we also realized that just providing an online physician does not solve the problem. So now we also have diagnostic facilities at the clinics, which are essentially provided by third-party providers, for example, Isa Lab, Chuktai Lab, to name a few of our partners. And we also have visiting sonologists who visit once or twice a week to the clinic, providing ultrasound facilities. The software solution that we utilize for telemedicine is provided by none other than Dr. Sohail through his company, Medical City. And the product that we're utilizing is Clinic on Wheels. And it has some very unique features, which not only include telemedicine, but an extensive electronic health record system, e-prescription system, and e-invoicing system, enabling us to capture the whole financial mechanism behind a patient consultation transaction as well. The second vertical that we look at is preventive health. We realize that not just providing treatment is not going to solve the problem. So we also have to ensure that women know about the preventive health and the preventive measures. If a woman doesn't know how to make ORS at her home, she'll keep on going to a doctor and keep on taking medicines for diarrhea. But when she knows how she can actually treat ORS, make ORS at her own home and treat patients, that is when the actual change happens. So what we do is that in our existing communities, we conduct needs assessment surveys and disease patterns. We identify the gaps, and we start designing campaigns. We start identifying stakeholders from the communities, as well as from the various corporate organizations who are willing to work in those areas. Then we implement the campaign, and we conduct impact assessment later.
Wind up in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I will. These are a couple of the healthcare workshops that we do. We've worked with leaders like Unilever, Lifebuoy, GSK in conducting various healthcare campaigns. We recently started working in mental health in the Central Jail of Karachi through a partner, and we are providing them online teleconsultation facilities for psychiatry and psychology. And thirdly, we are developing a mobile application where people like you and me can access a physician in a country like Pakistan. But we're not a charity. This is not a not-for-profit company. We have a strong business model where every service is charged between 50 to 300 to 500 rupees. The reason behind this is that we ensure to develop a sustainable business, a business which can run even after people are unable to fund or invest in it. This is me and my co-founder, and this is the team that makes sure that we are running the show every day. These are a couple of our partners. Right now, we have 15 clinics in the low-income communities of Pakistan in 3 provinces, and our vision of 2020 is to create 100 e-health clinics nationwide. In the next 3 to 5 years, we want to reach out to 8 million lives. And this is how people from the diaspora can help us, support us, promote us on social media, join our network of physicians, train our network of online female physicians, help us fundraise, become our ambassadors. This is all about Sehat Kahani. Thank you.
Thank you.